Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Zenaton and welcome to today's video for Legends of Runeterra. Today, we got a little bit of an off-meta deck. I'm not sure if I would say it's a meme, but it's definitely not a deck you're gonna expect to see on ladder. But I've been doing a lot of Gnar decks recently, both for YouTube videos and on stream. I wanted a break, but I wanted to try to find slash build something that was at least somewhat competitive. I think I got something here. Uh, Sorry, it's not a Udyr deck because I know people like Udyr. We're looking at a Fizz Lee Sin deck. This deck, it's the theory has been out there for a while. The only problem really with this deck is that there are just burst speed interactions that you can't react to, such as Hush and Minimorph, and Sharp Sight blocks Fizz. But the idea is we're going to use Fizz and maybe a couple other elusives to get in some nice damage, and then we have Lee Sin to basically act as a Thresh who also gets in some nice chip damage and win that way with a lot of little chip damage. So let's go and look at the deck. All right, welcome to the deck. So, Fizz Lee Sin. Like I said, this deck has been around before, but never really saw too much success. It also used to run Kelp Maidens. I don't really like Kelp Maidens in this deck. But the idea is we use Fizz, and Fizz is, well, slippery and gets a lot of damage in. Buff it up with things like Flame Spitters, maybe a Tiny Spear. And then we use our spells to keep Fizz safe. And since we have so many spells and are going to cast a lot of spells, Fizz actually levels up relatively quickly. Leveled up Fizz will give us Chum the Waters. Not a great spell, but it could help us out. The champion spell in this kind of deck actually matters a decent amount. Eye of the Dragon is how we just don't get run over by other tempo decks. Dragonlings are really great, giving us some time. Dragonlings are also really great with Syncopation. So that's the idea with the deck, just chip damage with Fizz and maybe some other elusive like Shadow Assassin. Lee Sin for some removals slash extra chip damage, and we've got Pod for just a little extra late game. So let's talk more about the deck. 3 of Fizz. We're going to run 3 of all of our champions. There isn't really another champion we would like. Some people might say, like, how about a 1 of Yuumi? Or, I don't know, maybe a Anari or a Teemo. I think minimum 3 Fizzes. I could see maybe cutting a Lee Sin and going down to 2 Lee Sins and pulling in a Yuumi, but I'm not too sure about that, but you can definitely experiment with that. But 3 Fizz is a necessity in this deck. You really want to draw a Fizz early on, and Fizz's champ spell actually does a lot for our deck. 3 Trinket Trades, mostly just here for a cheap burst spell to counter spells that are targeting Fizz, and it can give you more spells. The Otter Post is also good too because it can give you another chump blocker, so that's why we play all 3 of these. Yodel Squire, mostly just here to, it's kind of, you can look at this card kind of like Avarosan Sentry, just here to clog up the board, slow our opponents down, give us another spell too for Fizz. The Tiny Spear and Tiny Shield are very great for this deck because, 1, they're just a cheap spell to give Fizz elusive for the turn, and they can either make your Fizz hit harder or get Fizz out of ping range, like out of Withering Whale range. So yeah, we play 3 of them. 3 Conchologists, don't need to talk too much about this card. You know this card by now. The card's great in for Bandle City. Most Bandle City decks play 2 to 3 of these cards, so yeah, nuts card. 3 Eye of the Dragons can be some good beatdown too with the Dragonlings. We have a decent amount of spells too, and a lot of our units create spells, so it's not hard to create a Dragonling every turn, or at least almost every other turn, so it's nice as a 3 of. I like it. 3 Flame Spitters. There is the other card I can't remember the name of. It's the 4 mana card that gives impact. I also consider that, yeah, Primal Strength. And I just couldn't justify Primal Strength. Like, sure, it's a +2/+2, and it is a permanent +2/+2 buff, but I'm like, 2 extra mana is not worth the +2 health when I could just play Flame Spitter, get the attack, which is important, and the impact, and still have another 2 mana left over if I was going to cast Primal Strength instead. Like if I had Primal Strength, I need 4 mana. If I cast Flame Spitter, I use 2 of that 4 mana and I still have 2 mana left over. And that 2 mana left over can be used to cast another spell to protect Fizz from, say, like a Concerted Strike or a Vengeance or something. So yeah, I considered it, but I just couldn't justify the cost for Primal Strength, so we're playing 3 Flame Spitters. Flame Spitter is pretty much always going to be going on Fizz. Sometimes you can use it on Lee to make him hit harder too, though, so there is also that consideration, but mostly going to go on Fizz. But you could also put it on perhaps Shadow Assassin or even a Dragonling if you really need that health, but again, just Fizz. 3 Pokey Sticks. Card's pretty much a staple by now. It's like the sharp side of Bandle City. You're playing a Bandle City deck, you should be playing 3 of these, at the very least 2 of them, I'd say, so we're playing all 3 of them. Helps cycle through the deck. It's a spell for Fizz and Lee, and it can go face. What's not to love about the deck? 2 Syncopations. Pretty good spell here to just mess with your opponent. Can keep Lee alive against certain things. We're playing this over more counter spells. We only have 1 counter spell in the form of 1 Deny. I like Syncopation more for this deck than Deny and Nopify. Because it lets you bail your Fizz out of, say, like a Sharp Sight. Let's say you're against Demacia, which in my opinion, Demacia is going to crush this deck because of 1 Challengers and 2 Sharp Sight. But Syncopation lets you bail out a Fizz. You attack in with a Fizz, your opponent plays a Sharp Sight, they block, and you're like, oh, that's not good. Let me Syncopation to switch out a Fizz for, say, a Dragonling, or a Naya the Dragon, or a Yordle Squire or something, whatever. So that's why I like 2 Syncopations. 3 Twin Disciplines. I mean, this card is cracked. You don't see it too much anymore because Ionia's, I think at the moment, Ionia is actually the least played region, but Twin is one of the best cards in the game, and one of the reasons you like to be in Ionia at the moment. 2 Shadow Assassins. I like 2 instead of 3. Cycling's good, and Elusive is nice, but 1 health is a little bit of a liability in the current meta. And the meta is so fast, though. I don't really like too many Shadow Assassins because she can just die so easily. Pokestick's very popular, in other words. 1 of Deny. I like it as a 1 of. Again, like I said earlier, Syncopations are protection spell of choice, but a 1 of Deny is really nice against things like Box, which is not that common, and really nice against things like Ruination, which is also not that common, but it's still nice to have it as a 1 of. 3 Will of Ionias. This is basically just to make our opponent lose out on tempo. We're a tempo deck, and if our opponent tries to race us on tempo, Will of Ionia will be great. Using Will on, say, like a Kindred or maybe a Gnar, perhaps a Sejuani, is a huge tempo swing. And of course, it's a spell. And since we're casting all these spells, we play 3 Deep Meditations, helps us refill our hand. We are losing a lot of spells for not really equal value. We're using a spell basically just to protect a unit. We're not really trading 1 for 1 here with our spells, so we're going to run out of cards. So Deep Meditation keeps the cards flowing. 3 Lee Sins. I pretty much already mentioned why we're playing this guy. Pretty much just here for removing annoying things. Since we cast so many spells, he levels up easily and quickly, though, so he does help us push in more damage, and his champion spell is really good, which is why I would run all 3 Lees and not cut 1 Lee for, say, a Yuumi or something. And 2 Pods. Honestly, the 2 Pods are here because I don't know what else I would want to play. I don't really want another Deny or like another Shadow Assassin. I don't want more counter magic. So I like the Pod. We don't really have slow spells in this deck, so you're always going to be picking Fast or Burst. Fast spells, I believe we only have, 3 fast spells, so it's actually kind of a guarantee what you're getting with your fast spells. Not a guarantee, but it's highly likely you know what you're going to get with your fast spells. We only have, 7, I believe? 3 Pokesticks, 3 Wills, and 1 Deny. Everything else is a burst spell. Just don't pick slow spell for some reason. But yeah, I like the deck. I like this archetype. It's not really an archetype I like to play, or I play too often, but this kind of like slippery style, elusive, annoying style of gameplay is a style I like to play that I don't play too often, because in my opinion, it's not that great. The Voltron style, if you will call it, seems to just be better if you're making really, really big units than just buffing smaller, evasive units. Basically Pantheon. Anyway, though, that's going to be it for the discussion, let's go and look at some games. Okay, TLC. Normal. So I'm gonna just mulligan away everything and look for a Fizz. Didn't find Fizz, sadly, but we did draw a Yordle in arms, which is nice. But yeah, this matchup, if it weren't for Blighted Ravine, I'd love this matchup. It also would help if I could draw a Fizz. I'm gonna take Tiny Shield here, actually. But yeah, if I can draw Fizz, I like this matchup. Like, I need Fizz now. Perfect. And we'll just Tiny Shield now. And send it in. Avalanche is kind of annoying, but they wouldn't play Avalanche here. Tavern Keepers, whatever. We're just gonna pass. Thank you for not doing anything. Nice. Okay, okay. I'm just gonna play Trinket Trade here to activate Fizz. Lightning Rush is pretty good. Lightning Rush lets me save my Fizz from a Blighted Ravine. Could also Charm. No, let's just do this. I'm attacking him with a 2-1 because they'll block here, and that makes this bad against a... what's it called? Blighted Ravine or a Avalanche. 5 mana, 7 mana, do nothing, basically. Love to see it. There we go. Twin Discipline. That's what I'm looking for. I'm just going to do this to cycle. Another Fizz. Interesting. And there is the Blighted Ravine. Kind of hate to see it, but whatever. Thankfully, though, it's only the first one. The problem with that is it does remove the buff, and that is painful, but we can answer a regular Avalanche. We're just going to send Fizz in now. There is Trundle. I'm going to start with this. I think I need to push damage, like more damage. And this will level up Fizz. And also that's also 2 spells for our second Deep Meditation. So we're pushing some nice damage here. 3 Sisters into a Flash Freeze is going to be annoying, but that is really good damage, though. If I can draw another unit, I'd like this. When I said another unit, I didn't mean that. So yeah, we're just going to take the damage and play Chum the Waters. Just want another unit. Chum the Waters is actually pretty nice with Will of Ionia, so that's pretty sweet. I just want to hold up 4 mana so I can do this. So I could do a double twin. So that goes through, whatever. Annoying, but, you know, it's whatever. And I'm going to get the Otterpuss here so I have another unit for Playful Trickster. Now, will I save my Otterpuss if they ping it? That's the problem. That is really the problem. I've played 2 spells this turn. I'm gonna let this go through. And bank this mana. No, I'm gonna play Deep Meditation now to try and increase my chances of just naturally drawing another unit. Like a Lee. I really, really would love to draw a Lee here. Shadow Assassin's a pretty good draw. Okay, okay. I assume, yep, just Ice Pillar. And I'm going to just crank them here. Still a very, very scary turn. Withering Wail is... These are all very bad. I'm pretty sure this is lethal. No, that's one off, but I have Pokey Stick. Really? Okay. If they play anything, they just die to Pokey Stick now. I'm surprised they did that. In fact, I'm just gonna Pokey now. I have a second Pokey Stick, so if they wail in response, I just win. Yeah, I just win. GG, opponent. TLC, little too slow. Good job, Fizz. Okay. Demacia. I know it's Pantheon, so thankfully, I feel like unlike, say... Oh, and we drew a Fizz on turn 1. I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna keep this whole hand. I'm not gonna keep Flame Spitter, the second one. But yeah, thankfully, that's a great draw. This is not that bad of a matchup. Lee is pretty sweet here. Hope they don't have a Saga Seeker. If they have a Saga Seeker, awful. If they don't, great. If they have a goat, we just play Conchologist. If they don't have a goat, we play Eye of the Dragon. In fact, I'd probably just play Conchologist no matter what. Yep, this is really looking good for us. Lightning Rush is probably what I'll take here. Did well last game, I believe. We had a Lightning Rush against a TLC player. I'm just gonna pass. I'm gonna play an Eye of the Dragon. All right, so that really makes me worried for a we're just gonna pass here. I don't want to play into Sharp Sight here. I have Lightning Rush as my anti-Sharp Sight card. That's a great draw. And there's the Pantheon. Oh boy, hello. How are you doing? Awful to see you. Still though, I've got Lee next turn, which is decent. That's actually great that they didn't pull in Fizz. I can kill Pantheon. Yeah, I can actually kill Pantheon here. I Lightning Rush and then I twin my Eye of the Dragon. So I would do something like this. Well, no, I could actually save my Eye of the Dragon too. Well, no. I have to do it like this. So like something like this. That'll pop the shield. And then I Trinket Trade. Or not Trinket Trade. I twin. And I kill Pantheon. And I get rid of the goat too. Yeah, I like this play. I actually like this play a lot. Seems like they're struggling here to have a Fated unit. The fact that they actually had to play Pantheon. That also was a Confront too, which is why I really like this play. I also get a Dragonling here. That's pretty sweet. And we're just going to replay Fizz.
My shield is yours.
I'm just going to play a Trinket Trade really quick. Key Guardians, interesting.
Gimme. I wanna play.
I know they have a Sharp Sight in their hand. I don't care. I'm not playing around it. They don't have Sharp Sight in hand. That's interesting. I'm going to play this. And bluff that I have another 1-mana spell up. But yeah, this is basically a bluff here. And I hope they don't call my bluff. They might, though. Like, that's really, really worrying if they call my bluff. They called my bluff. Oh, they called my bluff, and I hate it. We actually might lose now. I'm so mad they called my bluff because we actually probably lose. Not a bad hand, though. Another Pantheon. Are you kidding me? Yeah, we actually lose because of that bluff call. Could syncopation here. Thankfully... Well, no, they're going to attack in. Yeah, what am I thinking here? Oh, well. Maybe I shouldn't have gone for that. That was a greed play, but, you know, sometimes you got to go for it, right? So I have, what, 7 mana next turn? I'm just trying to think if I want to play the Yordle Squire. I think I'll pass for now. Then we'll start with the Yordle Squire. I want a Tiny Spear here. I guess in this matchup, Lee is more important. I could will that. And I will that. Nice, no Bastion. Love to see it. And we'll just push in another 2 damage. Seems good. But yeah, like, they're going to replay Pantheon here, and he levels up. Thankfully, we do have a Lee Sin coming, but... Okay. Flame Spitter helps a lot. Really wish I had another Will of Ionia, but whatever. Hopefully they don't get, like, Elusive Scout. If they get Elusive Scout, I think I'm in danger. Challenger... Not a problem, though. Just no Elusive Scout. Spell Shield's annoying, too, though. They did get the Challenger, and they got Fearsome. Yikes. I'm doing this mostly because I need to cycle. Still, though. Good news is they didn't draw... Or they didn't hit Elusive or Lifesteal or like Quick Attack. Like these are not that good. Like only Challenger and Spell Shield are good hits from this. Tough, no problem. Fearsome, annoying. There's no way you're doing this attack. You can't just be doing this, right? There you go. I could Syncopation here. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say I could Syncopation into a Twin, because that would put Lee up to 7. But yeah, whatever. Am I dead? Are they gonna rally here? I feel like they're gonna rally here. Okay, at least it's not rally, so we'll just play Shadow Assassin. Trinket Trade. All right. I was about to say, if I can find a way to pop this Spell Shield, I have a chance. Thankfully, Concerted Strike doesn't do much. They did it in the right order, so we have to use Syncopation here, sadly. Not a big fan of that, but it is what it is. And I might be able to draw something even better here. Maybe I can go for lethal? So how does this work? You cast Dragon Rage. I drew a Will of Ionia. That's actually kind of nice. It strikes it. Does Impact work with Dragon Rage? I actually don't know. So I can bring you up to 7, 9, 10. That's another 12. If impact works, that is 11. That's not enough. Spear, this is +4. That'll make you have 8. This will make you have 10. So that's 5 mana for that? Ugh. Kind of not liking that. But I think I have to do it. I think I have to kill Pantheon here. So let's do it. Or at least attempt to kill Pantheon.
My land, center your spear.
Only thing I'm scared of here is a second Concerted Strike. And I'm not going to play around second Concerted Strike. Nice. We killed Pantheon. That's great. And Impact does work. Okay, cool. We brought him down to 1. Nice. And they had a second Pantheon. Of course. This one got Lifesteal and Spell Shield. Oh, boy. Okay. Hate that. Another twin. Okay. Are you elusive? You're not elusive. So let's start with this. Hopefully I can get a ping. Nopeify. I will counter this. You don't have Challenger, so that is good. So the good news is Pantheon can't attack in here. Not into Lee. But yeah, I think getting rid of that Overwhelm is really important. That's fine. That does nothing. They attack in with Pantheon. I just block with Lee. This is great. This is really good. I think I've got this. Perhaps. Like next turn, I'll just play Twin giving health to Lee. To get him out of maybe a concerted range. Yeah. They can attack in and gain 6 or 5. But then I'll just block with Lee. So yeah, we got this. I don't think one card can really save them right here. Maybe if they scout it. Okay, one card can save them. They scout attack, Pantheon dies, they play a third Pantheon. That is actually, they're out. Nice, and they passed. Good card. That doesn't really do much, but let's just go for lethal. And GG, good game.
Ionia endures.
Oh, no. This is actually a terrible matchup for us. So Fiora Yuumi, basically mono Fiora. They're playing things like Quick Quills, and a lot of challengers. We actually don't win. I'm gonna keep this. I think for this matchup, I need to find my wills. Syncopation is huge, though. But yeah, like, we can't really rely on Fizz. We're just gonna start with a Yordle Squire. I think my game plan is gonna be just go as aggro as possible here. So I'm taking the Tiny Spear. Alright, they'll definitely not trade here, I think. Right? Yep, didn't trade. Love to see it. Brightsteel? I'm trying to remember. It's been a while since I've actually seen this deck. I'm trying to remember what they play. Because it's just, no one plays this deck. That is fine. I will actually block here if they do that attack. Thanks. Their hand must suck. Thank you for doing this during combat so I get a free block. And I'm going to play the Eye of the Dragon here. I need to play Eye of the Dragon so I have a Syncopation target. This Syncopation might be insane. I'd love to draw... Not you. Thanks anyway. But yeah, Sharp Sight, a problem. Twin is good though. Like, Twin Syncopation might be able to keep me alive. So you'll be, what, a 4-3? I Tiny Spear here. You'll be a 3-1. That's actually kind of bad. We'll just do this and attack in for 3. I'm not playing around Sharp Sight. I cannot play around sharp side. I guess this is going to be a matchup where Lee Sin is important too, like against the Pantheon player. Yeah, the more and more I play this against the slower Demacia decks, I guess I'm more of a Lee Sin deck. So yeah, this seems nice. This is fine. We're just going to pass here. I'd rather bank the extra mana than play an Eye of the Dragon. Nice draw, nice draw. So here I'm just going to twin. Yeah, I'll just twin here. Yeah, let's twin. I was thinking maybe I'll Syncopation and then use twin in response. But I don't know. I think that might have actually been a misplay. Maybe it was better in the other order. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to think about this turn more when I'm not streaming. Because, yeah. Why didn't you Sharp Sight last turn if you had Sharp Sight? Unless they top deck the Sharp Sight, I wasn't really paying attention. Alright, so Syncopation now. Whatever. But yeah, I definitely should have Syncopationed. Now if they have single, I can't actually beat that. Like single or Strafing Strike? I had to actually think for a second what the other card was. The other strike, the 3-mana strike for dragons. Cool. And no Golden Aegis. I was afraid of Golden Aegis. But yeah, this is terrifying. All these challengers. I did say Demacia will beat this deck, but I wasn't expecting this. Pokey Stick is a great draw. We're just going to send this in. Hopefully they don't have another Sharp Sight. If they have another Sharp Sight, we probably lose here. We don't have a game plan against second Sharp Sight. I mean, I guess my game plan is draw Lee. Yeah. Hate that. Really hate that, but can't really do anything about it. I should have done this first, I guess, but maybe, I don't know. I was just thinking like, what if they played a Quick Quill on the Fleet Feather? But the good news is they haven't done much damage. This deck is a Fiora deck. What is this? Okay, another Pokey Stick. Why are you playing Pokey Stick in your deck? I guess the cycling's just too good to not play. And I'll just pass here and play Pod for a burst speed spell, I think. Yeah. Thank you for just open attacking. So yeah, get in there, Pod. Give me another Deep Meditation is what I'm looking for here. Flame Spitters, whatever. But yeah, this matchup, it's a Lee Sin, or I guess a turn 10 Pod kind of game. Wouldn't be opposed to drawing another Fizz. Alright, Quick Quill. Sure. Will of Ionia would be great too. I'm also going to save the second Pokey Stick to play around Friendship. Friendship is a scary card. But yeah, I think we're fine here. Pod is big enough that Fiora doesn't threaten it yet. I'm just going to open attack. I doubt they're going to block here. I assume they just take the 5. Maybe they block, but play Riposte. If they play that, I have a ping, so I'm not that afraid. If they try to use, like, Shield of Durons, I've got Flame Spitters and Twins. Maybe, like, a buff into a Concerted Strike. Interesting. No buff, though, so that's nice. Nice 5 damage, too. This deck doesn't really have healing. Unless they're playing Radiant Guardian for some reason. They don't have healing. A little annoying that Quick Attack Fiora is going to... I need help, please. Tentacles is actually good in this matchup. It's better than anything else here. Another spell? Good spell? Stress defense on Fiora is actually really cute. Like, they attack in with Fiora, we stress defense Fiora, and then buff my pod? I'm going to just play this now. For 2 mana, they can't do too much here. Got rid of a Shield of Duran. That's huge. Could play Pokestick, but I need that to pop a Spell Shield, so we're just going to pass here. Well, I could play Pokestick now, but... yeah, I need these Pokesticks to pop barriers and Spell Shields. But yeah, this turn, Stress Defense Flame Spitter. Easy. Actually, Stress Defense Twin, because this will be 6 health with Tough. That's fine, we'll just block. You're at 0 out of 2, so you won't level up. Well, it'll be hard for you to level up. So Stress into Twin? And reposted. Annoying. Hate to see it, but whatever. And we're just gonna... I'm gonna cycle here. I need to start cycling. I need to find Lee. I don't like it, but I have to do this. That was a very, hopeful kind of play. Can I stop drawing my eyes? I don't need them here. But yeah, that was a very hopeful play that they didn't have a buff in, you know, the Fiora buff deck. But yeah, where's my Wills? Where's my... what's his face? Yeah, that guy. Thank you. Alright, so they only have 2 cards, so we win. I Flame Spitter Lee. He'll be big enough to actually kill Fiora, and these kind of Fiora decks only have Fiora as their win con. They sometimes have, like, other just good cards like Screeching Dragon, but we can't lose to that. So, GG. With 4 mana and a Flame Spitter and a Pokestick, we can't lose, I think. Ooh. Why is Fiora not striking first? I guess they forgot. I'm not a fan of this, but I gotta get the barrier. I really need them to not have anything else here. Oh, a Trinket Trade. Okay, that might help. So yeah, we're just going to attack in with everything here. Judgment's not a problem. Hopefully they don't have single or... Friendship's not a problem. Fiora will still die if they friendship. Barrier's not a problem. Okay, and Fiora's just dead. Good game.
I thank you, dragon.
All right, so welcome back to the deck. We did what? 3 games? And we won all 3 games too. We went against TLC, Trundle Lysandra Control, a Shadow Isles Freljord control deck, a Pantheon deck, and basically the last remnants of the Fiora believers, I guess. But yeah, we went against 2 Demacia decks, and I actually won against them, which was kind of surprising. And I also went against a Shadow Isles Freljord deck, which should be... Shadow Isles Freljord is a weird matchup for this deck, because you would think it's not a good matchup for the Shadow Isles Freljord player, but Blighted Ravine, triple Blighted Ravine is really good against Fizz. Thankfully, we had an answer, because Conchologist is busted and gave me a card whose name I can't remember. Kennon's Champ Spell. Lightning Rush? Yeah, Lightning Rush. But yeah, like, that goes to show... I feel like those games showed really well what this deck is trying to do, how we have multiple avenues to attack from. If our opponent's slow enough, we can just go for the Lee win, just chipping away. Sure, we don't have a big OTK like traditional Lee decks by giving things Overwhelm, and I'm pretty sure there is no way to give our cards Overwhelm with Conchologist or anything, so sad. But Flame Spitter is pretty good, and I also learned today, I think I've learned this before, but I relearned at least that Impact works with Dragon's Rage, with Lee Sin, so that's pretty nice. But yeah, like, Flame Spitter, good card for these slippery kind of protect your champion kind of decks. So yeah, fun deck. Seems pretty good. I currently have about 150 LP now, so it's doing well in it's a pretty decent bracket for competitiveness, I'd say, and it seems to be doing okay. Thankfully I didn't run into, say, like Scouts. I think Scouts is the one deck I don't want to run into with this deck. Scouts is very annoying. Yordle in Arms is annoying, but not that bad. I mean, anything with Demacia and Sharpsight is going to be annoying, but Yordle in Arms is not that annoying because of Eye of the Dragon. So yeah, if you're just looking for a fun deck, I would highly recommend this. You have to like the playstyle, of course. A lot of people just don't enjoy this type of playstyle. I do, but I get it. Some people just don't like it. I'd love to hear your comments, though, and your opinions on this deck. Do you think this deck actually has a place in the meta? It's pretty much just a deck I threw together in a couple of minutes just because I wanted to play this deck again. But can you think of any kind of improvements? Maybe you want more Shadow Assassins. Maybe Kelp Maiden is a card you think is good. More elusives in general. I'd love to hear your opinion down below in the comments. And if you guys just enjoyed the video in general, I'd love it if you could leave a like or a comment down below. Always helps me and the channel out. And if you guys want to keep up with the Legends of Runeterra content, you can always go and subscribe to the channel as well. Also, if you want to watch me play some Legends of Runeterra, you can go and check me out over on Twitch at twitch.tv/Zenaton, where I stream pretty much every single day. Anyway, though, with that all said and done, thank you all again once more for watching this video, and until I see you guys in the next one, bye!